Welcome, Nicole. Super happy to have you here. For those that don't know about you or your business, can you do a quick intro?
So I started in the wellness business 25 years ago when it was not popular.
Okay.
I was working, um, I was right out of college. I just had my first baby. No, actually, I was going on to my third baby and realized that I couldn't work in an office anymore. So I got
Mhm.
certified as a personal trainer, left my job, and started training clients. Then it sort of kept evolving over time as I became more into the industry. I personally have my own experience with health and wellness
Mhm.
in that I was diagnosed with lupus when I was 4
Oh wow.
and used exercise to manage my symptoms, and then was diagnosed with MS at 39, and really sort of took the nutrition piece of it as well to sort
Mhm.
of figure out how to my own health and wellness. And then on top of that, used my knowledge and experience in the industry to help my clients,
Mhm.
and went completely 100% remote in 2020 during COVID,
Okay.
and have not gone back to a gym since.
Oh wow.
And yeah, so how my business works is that we like to make wellness, nutrition, and fitness become more seamless in your life instead of running around and doing fitness classes and
Mhm.
diets. It's really about trying to figure out how to make each person individually healthy with a lifestyle that's going to work for them. So, what I like to tell clients is that I'm not the type of coach that does fasts or cleanses
Mhm.
or workouts. I actually teach people how to eat pizza and drink wine and be healthy.
Love it.
Does that make sense?
Yes, I
Yeah.
love it.
So,
Balance.
yes, yeah, I've done everything. I've done elimination diets. Doctors have recommended that I remove nickel out of my diet. I've done so because of my health conditions. I've done everything to get healthy.
Mhm.
And at 49, I sort of recognized that having restrictions might have been the thing that was making me unhealthy at 49. So it works for
Okay.
short periods. But now I've really evolved into figuring out how to make sure everything works in your life.
I
Does that
agree
make sense?
100%. And I think, well, I don't know if all women have been through this, but I definitely have, where you try to do one of these diets and it's just impossible. Or you just do it for a month and that's it. It's just not sustainable long term. And I love that idea of I teach people to eat pizza and wine while being healthy. It's that's like the perfect idea because it's you cannot go so extreme because then you're gonna fall for sure.
Yes, and when it comes to the fitness piece, as a fitness professional with 25 years of watching how the industry evolved,
Mm-hmm.
I think what I've learned is that, and I'm really not against anything. Like, I believe we should all support each other in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have programs that are about how many times can I get you to come into class and how many calories can you burn while you're here,
Mm-hmm.
we sort of lose sight of, like, okay, how are you feeling? How are
Yeah.
your clothes fitting?
Mm-hmm.
How are you sleeping? So I really like to break it down to, the first questions that I ask people are, how are you sleeping?
Okay.
And if you're not sleeping, we really can't go to the next level. And there are so many things we can do to improve sleep. And even then, it's sort of challenging if you have chronic stress.
Mm-hmm.
But there are things nutritionally that we can do. No supp. I don't do any supplements, but there are things nutritionally we can do. Like, for example, if you're active all day and you're barely consuming food at night, your body is looking to heal. And if you haven't fueled it well during the day, it won't heal.
Mm.
So now your workouts to make sure you're consuming enough of the right foods is one of the first things that I look out for my clients that are overly. I actually have a lot of clients that work out too much when they come to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because we are in this culture of hustle, of non-stopping, of go go go, and sometimes people they or let's say like yeah they're passionate about working out but they forget that sometimes rest is as equal as equally important, and that sometimes if you don't rest, there's a lot of things that can happen. Number one, an injury could happen, and number two, maybe you're not giving your muscles that time to rest and they're not growing as properly. And number three, for the mental state as well.
Yeah, what's really interesting is that when you look at the science of exercise, is that the rest period, depending on what you're doing with your workout. So, for example, if you lift to the point where you're fatigued after 8 reps, you need 90 seconds to recover before you do the next rep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Imagine what that would look like in a fitness class.
I was stopping all the time.
People going, okay, so the 90 seconds, so most of your time is resting, right?
Right. Yes.
And that's the science of a certain type of workout, which is really beneficial, especially for the female body. So when we go to a class and they're like, how can I entertain you for 45 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to do that if you're requiring 8 reps and 90 seconds of recovery for 3 sets.
Yeah.
So what happens when you exercise, when you really properly exercise, when you're healthy, is that you are tearing your muscle fibers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the goal is to repair your muscle fibers.
Mm-hmm.
What we do in the fitness industry, so many with these classes, is we're always tearing the muscle fibers and we're never repairing them. Mm-hmm. So when you do a strength training workout that's for your lower body and then you do sprints on a treadmill afterwards,
mm-hmm.
you're never giving your body a chance to recover.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And also, being healthy is surprisingly boring. But when you are healthy, you get to do amazing, fun things like hike mountains and sleep well. And as I sort of joke with people, as I'm 52 and I work with a lot of women my age, I'm not as angry, even though I appeared at the beginning of the podcast because I miss and I want to apologize because I get tons of like marketing phone calls and I want to support. I know, so I'm so sorry, Maria.
It's okay.
I'm not usually that angry, but as a 52-year-old woman, we do sort of struggle with our reaction to things.
Yeah.
And you can sort of see if you're constantly exercising and you're not eating enough and you're not taking care of yourself, why that is pretty typical. Does that make sense?
Correct. And also, I guess maybe that stress of being so obsessive could also not help you, because I think what can happen is that your body can produce a lot of cortisol, which cortisol is not bad, but when it's produced at the extreme, it could not help you with your weight goals, for example.
Yes. You want to hear something so interesting?
Yeah.
So it's actually sort of a funny story. I had gone to this place that was selling this Greek yogurt that I heard was amazing. Mm-hmm. And when I looked it up online, it looked like the nutrition was pretty good. So I had sent my clients there. I was consuming it excessively because I thought it was pretty healthy.
Okay.
And one of my clients discovered that it's actually worse than ice cream.
No.
I know. So I felt so bad, first of all, and then when I put it into my nutritional tracker, I basically was consuming all this like really high fat, high caloric yogurt that was just as bad as ice cream. Oh. But then I came to the conclusion, and I wonder about this. But in my head, I was thinking I was having something really healthy, right. So there was no anxiety associated with the food, and my body wasn't responding like I was consuming an ice cream sundae every night.
Interesting.
But I basically calorically was.
Uh-huh.
Isn't that interesting? And
that
so then
super interesting.
It really is. So I thought about my clients because there's so much anxiety associated with food.
There is 100%.
What if they just enjoy the ice cream we were consuming instead of feeling like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad about eating this and I need to work out harder because I had ice cream. So a lot of my time with clients is going, maybe if we had a different relationship with what we thought about food, that our body would respond more positively to it. Does that make sense?
I agree. And it's scientifically proven that the placebo effect exists. So we should always like keep that in mind. A lot of the times the anxiety response is what ruins everything.
Yes. And honestly, the yogurt was okay. But I would rather have ice cream.
Of course. Who
Right?
wouldn't?
Right? So it made me change like my whole mindset when it came to like, oh, I'm gonna really enjoy the ice cream if I'm gonna have it.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then like there is this sort of when you're 52 and you've been dieting, because I was obese in middle school, so I've been dieting for most of my life.
Mm-hmm.
There is this sort of negative association with food, and we
Yeah.
really, when we reshape our relationship with food, it really helps us actually not only get results on the scale,
Mm-hmm.
but it helps us because um, culturally, when we eat, we connect with people.
Yeah.
And culture,
Yeah.
my background is like we sat down at a table and we ate food together.
Uh-huh.
So when we take that connection away, it impacts us emotionally as well as socially. And does
A
that, I
hundred
mean, does that,
percent. I've lived it. Like when I mentioned to you, like doing these diets, it's, oh, I cannot go to this birthday party. Oh, my family came to visit, but I cannot get out of my room because I'm gonna see this bread and I'm gonna feel super anxious, and people are gonna ask me why you're not eating, etc.
yes, Maria, yes, isn't that the worst? Is like when
Yes.
we have been on diets and everyone's like, oh my God, Maria's on one of those diets again. And it's like, it's sort of like, it makes the situation uncomfortable. It makes us uncomfortable. And we really do need to change. Again, like I think we should be eating the birthday cake and we
Yeah.
should have that wonderful bread. We
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be eating it because we starved ourselves for 40 days and then we need to consume as much as humanly possible because we're finally off the diet.
Right.
We need to yes, we need to learn how to eat it with our family and with our friends and not have a negative. And there are so many ways that you can do that. I actually wore in this process of learning how the body worked. I
Mm-hmm.
wore a glucose monitor for 3 months.
Okay.
And what I discovered, and it's not really clear because this is information that's new to all of us, because when we looked at diets in 2015 and
Mm-hmm.
2014, there wasn't all this information
Yeah.
about glucose
Yeah.
monitors. So now we're sort of learning again, when we learned about diets and calories in and calories out, that was based on the male body.
Mm.
And the female body is so unique and so wonderful. What I found super interesting when I wore the glucose monitor is basically my early morning runs, if I was anxious and stressed out and hadn't eaten enough the night before, were just as bad as a large ice cream sundae for me.
Oh wow.
So my body had that. And the reason why is because your body produces sugar and insulin in response to food, but also in response to a fuel source.
Yeah.
So when I was doing, and by the way, I'm not against anything, but there's a lot of conversations going on about fasting cardio for
Mm-hmm.
the female body.
Yeah, I've
Sure,
heard a
you've
lot
heard of
about it.
this. And I'm not against, I think when we make these blanket statements and say you shouldn't do fasting cardio, I don't agree with that either. But there is a science behind why the female body, when she's stressed out and hasn't eaten the right food and tries to do a fasting cardio, her body has a negative response to it over
Mm-hmm.
time.
Mm-hmm.
So understanding how your body works and where you are in your life, where your age is, where your stress is, where your schedule is an important part of being healthy.
Mm-hmm. And
You
not
know,
just um the female, of course, body responds very different, but also try it like on yourself, because I've tried that. I've tried doing fasting cardio, and it was very difficult for me. I would be very angsty. I would be it was way harder to do the cardio. I would be kind of like, you know what, I wouldn't even sleep well the night before because I knew I had to wake up early to do the fasting cardio. And it
yeah,
was like, okay, this doesn't work for me, period.
yeah.
Like, just also get to learn your body.
Yes, and also my other advice to you, Maria, is your body changes over time.
Mm-hmm.
So just because something that worked 2 years ago, it might not work now, or
Right.
something that's not working now might work 2 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
So your body always evolves because of the stressors you're experiencing, and be really open to trying new things
Mm-hmm.
without chasing, well, like without being like a dog that's chasing a ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like throw it and you just run. Just start like really staying committed to something for 2 weeks and seeing how your body responds. I think that what I would say, my biggest recommendation to everybody, which is something that's evolved for me as a trainer over time, and I know I've heard it before, is that cardio is a great stress management tool for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not great at losing fat and building muscle.
Yes.
And so I really highly recommend that everybody commit to strength training,
Uh-huh.
no matter who they are. And the older you get, the more important it is, because we just naturally atrophy over time.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had any experience with the strength training piece of it?
Oh yeah, I've always done strength trainer. I've done both of them, but I've learned a lot about it, and like I've got to the point where if I just have um, 30 minutes in the day or something like that, and I have to choose, I always choose the strength training first.
Yes, it should be. And I argue about this with my husband all the time because he's my age, and he's always like, "No, that's like the woman thing,"
Oh,
and I'm like, "No, it's
it's
actually
not.
a your thing too."
Yeah,
So if you think that you're 17 and can go run, every single day 3 miles and think you're going to get that amazing body, it's not going to work. It's
exactly,
not just it's not just a female thing.
exactly.
It is, yes, it is a. We sit for 8 hours during
Oh
the
my
day.
God, yes.
And if you are 20, 30, 40, 50 years old, that means you've been doing this for a long time of not moving. So we
Mm-hmm.
have to really stay committed to building up the muscle. So I really think it is like the fountain of youth is
Mm-hmm.
strength training
Mm-hmm.
done right.
Yeah.
It's not, yeah, that's the hard part, is doing it right, Maria.
Yeah, definitely get help from a trainer or find a lot of there's a lot of information online. It's very important because you do see it a lot. Sometimes people don't have the right form, they're arching their back a lot, and that's gonna mm, be very bad for the future. So
Yes,
do
and
it
also
right.
like even though I've been doing this now, I've been a trainer for 25 plus years. I have to spend time going, what muscle am I actually working on?
Mm, okay.
And
Really
so,
putting
like,
your mind into what am I doing?
what am I doing? So, like, this a lot of I see this a lot. A shoulder press,
Uh
right?
huh.
You take your arms straight up, but what you're doing here is, because your hand is in front of your shoulder, you're actually not working your shoulder. You're just aggravating your rotator cuff.
I didn't even know that. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So what you can do is spend time. I always have my clients start with their arms against the wall to work
Okay.
on proper form,
Uh huh.
and do no weight in the beginning,
Uh huh.
just because we spend so much time like this, right?
Yeah.
And then
Hunching
you
over
expect your body to perform like it's been a
like
great
this.
posture.
Yeah.
So spend time working on your posture before you jump into weights, because then what you're strengthening up is the muscles that's causing you pain. So if you have
Hmm.
chronic shoulder issues and you're always like this, and then you start adding weights to your chronic shoulder issues, you are strengthening up your muscles to hang out like this.
Oh wow.
Does that make sense?
Yes, 100%. And I don't think that's ever something that I've been taught in classes. They
No.
just tell you, yeah, like go with the bar like this, but I've never heard, okay, the posture first. Like don't have your
Yeah.
arms super forward.
Well,
And
yeah, and if you think about when the fitness world started getting certified, phones didn't exist.
mm-hmm.
So a shoulder press, before a phone existed, where you spent so much time rounded, it wasn't as important. But over time, we have really destroyed our posture
Yeah,
because of this lifestyle.
yeah.
And so another example, because I hear a lot of my clients say, "Oh, my doctor told me I can't do squats." And if you spend the majority of your time in a seated position with your glutes long and your hips tight.
Mm-hmm.
And then you expect to go to a fitness class at 5 o'clock where you've spent all your time with weak glutes and tight hips. There's no way your body's going to be able to do a proper squat.
Okay.
So, what you need to do is strengthen up your glutes so they move properly.
Mm-hmm.
And then that way, because we have to squat. Every time you go to the bathroom, you're squatting. So, when a doctor says don't squat, you're like, so should I stand and pee? Like, what am I talking?
Right.
So, squatting is a functional movement. But when you go into a gym after sitting all day and you haven't properly set your body up to get the benefit of that exercise, squatting then becomes dangerous.
Okay.
Does that?
Yes, got it. And
Yeah.
a lot of, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go. You go.
And as you mentioned, a lot of people more and more, because I keep hearing it, are suffering with shoulder pain, back pain. Again, because we sit a lot, and probably the phones too. What would be, apart from like working on first, like that exercise that you explained, anything else that you usually recommend to your clients?
So one of the things that I really enjoyed doing in the last year is something it's called yoga therapy. And
Okay.
what you do is you take this ancient practice of yoga and incorporate it into what we know is happening with the bodies currently. And one of the really interesting things that I spend time with my clients doing is that if you have gone to fitness classes or you've even attended a gym class as a child, we are told to do what we're supposed to. You
Mm-hmm.
go into class and your gym teacher says do sprints across the gym floor and you just do it.
Yeah.
We're never encouraged to go, my chest is bothering me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling tired, my knees hurt.
Mm-hmm. And
So
we get
learning,
shy too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, we are just told, and all my daughters played serious sports, and that was like at the worst time of like, you're not allowed to complain.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's not complaining when we communicate how we feel.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the most powerful thing that I work with my clients is teaching them to have a voice when it comes to their body.
Yeah.
So when you're doing an exercise and the teacher says you're doing a shoulder press, you should be feeling it here. Then as a student of the class and of somebody who advocates for yourself, you should say, I'm not feeling it. Am I doing something wrong?
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's really interesting because I work with clients who are teenagers all the way up into their 70s. And one of the most emotional moments I had was with my 70-plus-year-old client who was a Vietnam vet.
Mm-hmm.
He hadn't been attending my classes for a while. And I said, what's going on? And he said, well, I fell and I shattered my shoulder or my elbow a long time ago. And every time you have me do foam rolling, it bothers my elbow.
And
And so, and he
didn't
wasn't
tell you.
communicating.
Oh God. Oh.
And I said, exactly. And this was somebody, and again, he's been in war. He's learned how to keep his mouth shut when it comes to how he feels.
Mm-hmm.
And as females, we are very like, if you've ever given birth, you just like muscle through stuff. Like you don't complain. So yes, it goes across every gender and every age. So I think the most valuable thing that I see with my clients is learning how to advocate for themselves. And so as a trainer, what I want to do is, so I have somebody foam roll because I want them to break up their myofascial.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean they have to be on their elbow in pain to do that.
Right. They can do it in a different way.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So like, yeah, we can take a ball and we can use a tennis ball and rub out your quadricep,
Mm-hmm.
not on your elbow. So my advice is when you are working out is to let go of being polite. Let go, like that inner voice that goes, well, I don't want to be disruptive.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just, it's disruptive when you're injured and you can't come to class anymore.
Yeah.
So if you're uncomfortable saying it out loud in a classroom, and if that instructor doesn't care about how you feel,
which can happen,
my advice is probably don't go back to the class. It's not your problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Agreed.
their fault for not knowing how the body works.
100%. Because there are some, I've seen it before, in some classes where they say if you cannot do one exercise, then it's better that you don't come to this class. That's not okay. Like, yeah, I have a knee problem. I can just give me another exercise that I can do. I
I
still want to do the
completely
class.
I think as fitness professionals, and this takes a long time because sometimes we don't know,
Yeah.
and again, I've evolved as an instructor, and I apologize to past clients because I wish I knew as much as I know now.
Mm-hmm.
It really is about making sure that we meet you where you're at.
Mm, exactly. We think sometimes when we are expert at something that everybody knows the same amount that we know, and sometimes we get like ahead over ourselves and we tell them and like they're understanding everything, and sometimes you really have to step back a little bit and explain things in a very easy way to understand and a little bit slowly.
Yeah, and also sometimes we're learning as we go.
Yeah. And also in the fitness world, things change all the time. There's new studies that come. There's it's very important to unlearn and relearn.
Absolutely. If you think about it, this calories in, calories out
Yeah.
thing has been around since the 70s
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and probably before. I can't imagine that's the only answer. Like, we need to really think, like, of course, information has evolved. We just are not, and there's a lot of stuff out there, but I think that we have to make assumptions that we're always learning when it comes to health and wellness.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And also you specifically learning about each patient. So what what has like worked for him. He responds better to this, he doesn't respond to this, he has this injury, so we have to do a different type of exercise. So that's what's so beneficial about having a personal trainer that knows all your specificities more than a class, which, okay, I understand sometimes you have to do the class, you cannot get a personal trainer, but there's definitely a huge benefit into it.
You know what? If you can't get a personal trainer,
Mm-hmm.
look at the picture. If it says you're supposed to be working this muscle in on the machine,
Mm-hmm.
make
Feel
sure
it.
you're feeling it in that muscle.
Right.
Like,
They talk a lot about that mind muscle connection. Yeah.
absolutely, it
Hmm.
totally works.
Yeah.
It totally. I can get a workout with no weights. If
Yes.
I'm thinking about the muscle I'm working, then I should be able to get a workout with no weights.
Hmm. Okay, Nicole, and is there anything else that you would like to share to the audience about your business, about the clients you take, anything that you
Yeah.
would like to share?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you, Maria. You are
Absolutely.
amazing at this.
Thank you so
And
much.
what I do is I do only remote training and coaching.
Hmm.
Uh, what I do is I work with all different populations,
Hmm.
but the majority of my clients are very, very busy and have tried lots of things and are open. I always say it's like when I work with a client, it's like it's like I'm teaching them to be a conductor of an orchestra, and the orchestra is their body.
Hmm.
Sort of going, okay, this is what my body needs, and this is so it's not a clear plan for everybody. It really is unique to each person,
Hmm.
and that's how wellness should be.
Yeah.
I think you need to, figure out how to eat the things you enjoy, live your life, and then be really healthy in the process.
Hmm.
One of the biggest, I just had a coaching client today tell me she went on vacation and she spent the whole time being really vocal about how great she felt and how wonderful it was
Oh,
to walk pain free. But
beautiful.
what really struck me is she goes, and everybody was getting so sick of me being excited. And she goes, because she realized the year before when she was in pain, she never complained.
Oh, wow.
No.
Wow.
And so I love it that people are feeling so good, they want to scream it from the rooftops, and that they recognize that living that way before was unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting. So I do think for everybody, we have the potential to feel amazing, and you
Yes,
just need to find the right path to get there.
exactly. And don't stop till you get there. Like,
Don't stop. Yeah.
move mountains if necessary. Don't stop.
And also, like, don't let all the things in your head going, well, I'm unique because I'm this, or I can't because I have a herniated
Mm,
disc, or I
mm,
can't because my foot is bad, or I can't because I'm 68 and my life is over. No,
yeah.
like, there's no reason that in fact, my 87-year-old mother promised to me to give me a testimonial because she couldn't believe
Oh,
that.
I
I know.
love
Because,
it.
well, but I'll be honest with you, I was tough. If you thought I was tough with you in the beginning, I was so much meaner to my
Oh,
mother
really?
I was like, Mom,
Oh,
get your act together. Because she's like, it's over. I'm like, no,
no.
it's not over. Eat well, take care. And she's not obese. I mean, she just needs to learn how to take care of herself.
Uh-huh.
But see her happy, it was worth every second of me being hard on her.
100%. Sometimes we need a little bit of that. A little bit of that
We do.
push.
We do. And also, like, at 87, why would she give up? If she's been here this
Yeah,
long,
100%. I agree. That is very
yeah.
admirable that she's doing that. I love it.
I am so proud of her.
Yeah,
Yes.
you should be. I am proud of her too. I don't know her.
A rock star. And Maria, thank you. It
Of
was such a
course,
pleasure to get to
absolutely.
know you. You are